Okay, we have a Honda HR214 mower. Had it since 1987, I think, and no problems, always started. This is the first time it stopped working. It will crank, run for a little bit, and then shut down. So I'll just demonstrate. Just trying to figure out what's going on here. I'll put the choke on it. Replace the fuel filter, and now I'm going to replace the spark plug and see if that fixes it. There have been some other videos that show that replacing the spark plug fixes this problem. So let's take this off. Obviously it has ignition because it starts right away. Of course, there's a little bit of a smoke because this is an old lawnmower, and it's burning some oil around the rings, so probably will need a ring job. So let's take the old plug out. Okay, we just took the old one out, old plug, and looks pretty bad. We're going to replace it and give it a try. If that doesn't work, we'll have to rebuild the carburetor, not rebuild, but clean out the carburetor. Maybe the jet valve or some main jet valve is clogged. But we'll give that a try. We're going to replace the spark plug first. So, and let's see if this fixes it. I think it's supposed to have an NGK replacement. What's in here? Oh, this is probably the original spark plug. Yeah, this is an NGK spark plug. I don't really remember replacing the spark plug on this. So, after 35 years, I guess it was time to replace the spark plug. This is a knockoff by F7TC, and by the way, the fuel filter was easy to replace, but that also was original after 35 years. So I guess it's time to do some maintenance. You don't want to tighten too tight with the new spark plug. Hand tighten. It is aluminum base, so we can't torque it too hard. We have steel threads on the spark plug into aluminum crankcase, so just be careful with the torque. Had to use a extension on here because getting the don't pull on this too hard. It's got a very fine wire in the spark plug wire, so it's a little, and then I don't know, keep it pretty good tight from about here. So let's give it a try. Okay, let's put the spark plug wire back on. There we go. Okay. Alright. Let's give it a try. Whether this works or not, I don't know. It's worth a try first. Put a full choke. We're gonna crank it. Still doing the same thing. One more try. Yeah, I think it's the carburetor because it takes a while for the float bowl to fill up, and it runs very quick, just a short burst. So that's why I thought it was the fuel filter. All right, time to clean the carburetor. All right, first we're going to take the air filter off. And then we're going to get some 10mm ratchet sockets. I tried cranking this without the air filter and made no difference. So, and the air filter's not even probably 3 months old. So, air filter's fine. So we're going to go ahead and clamp the fuel line up here, because I got a full tank of gas in here, so, and work from there. We're gonna take the whatever this is, the air filter holder, and eventually remove the carburetor here. And then we're gonna try to get some carburetor cleaner and start cleaning out the jets. All right, we've removed the air filter, and you can see the inside of the carburetor is pretty dirty. I see this little module here. This looks like some kind of throttle cutoff. I wonder if this is bad, because it looks like it's going up into here. So I'm going to investigate that, because when this is all the way, when the throttle is all the way shut off, it is cut off the ignition. So I wonder if this could be part of the problem. Not sure. I'm going to investigate it. I'm going to take this cover off and check it out. Okay, so I removed the top. It was easy. Bunch of 10mm screws all the way around. So this appears to be an ignition kill switch. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this somehow. Let's see. This looks like just a fast on connector. So we're just going to slowly wiggle it off here. There we go. Don't want to pull too hard. Okay. So that's probably the ignition kill. I'm going to try to put the top back on, crank it again, and let's see what happens. Oh, and by the way, I did try to crank it without the fuel cap too, because the fuel caps sometimes have a vapor lock, and it won't creates a vacuum in the tank, but that wasn't it. So, all right, let's try this. Let's see if that's it. Otherwise, if that's not it, it's going to be the carburetor. So, okay. We're going to give it a try. I've disconnected the fuel kill switch. So let's go and put a full choke. You see the choke plate's working too, by the way. And let's give it a try here. I only have one bolt on, so I got to be careful pulling. No, still. So that's not the kill switch. All right. Well, then that's the carburetor. So that's the next step. All right. So I'm not going to go detailed, but basically we've taken this off. The next thing is we're going to loosen the linkages here. I mean the plate that holds the linkages. Loosen it, and then we're going to remove these the choke plate linkage and the throttle linkage. And if you just take something, light hammer, and just bang on this, the whole thing is loosened up. And so we're going to take the gaskets off here. This is metal. Some kind of metallic gasket here, and then we're gonna, looks like there's a paper gasket that's still in good shape here, so we're gonna save that, and that's some kind of plastic interface. So I'm gonna loosen these bolts up here for the two 10mm, and this will allow me to remove these. So okay, we've used a pair of needle nose pliers. Move this ring back, and it allows us to push this fuel line off the carburetor. I've also put a pair of vice grips on here to kind of pinch the line because it's still full of gas. All right, and we're just going to pull this back, and probably a little bit of gas will come out. There we go. Not too bad. All right, and we're going to move the carburetor out. Alright, this was easy to come off because if you turn it to the right direction, this lines up and removes. This one, however, is stubborn. This is plastic, so you can't be careful about breaking this, otherwise you'll buy a whole new carburetor. And we may have to loosen this up some more to get this angle, to get this unlocked right here. You can see there's a bend right here, so remember which way that goes when you try to put this back together. Actually, I just had to go ahead and take the whole linkage off. Both bolts, and then this came off no problem, and we just remove this. Remember which way it goes with our magnetic thing, and voila, the carburetor is off. All right, the next step is we're going to take the bottom bowl off, clean out the carburetor float, the jets. I can see right now the main jet looks a little dirty in there, so that could be the problem. So all right, this will be a while. Okay, this is what it looks like when I took it apart. There's all sorts of stuff on the bottom of this. So, and that's the main pickup line here at the bottom. This is the intake. Here's the fuel intake right here. And we have the carburetor float. The float looks discolored, but other than that, it looks okay. We're going to take the pin out, and this pin, remove the float, and do a deep dive and clean this out. We're going to take the main, get a flat blade screwdriver, and get this main nozzle valve out. So, and they're going to soak the whole thing in carburetor cleaner overnight, and clean this out, this bowl out too. So, and we have to be careful about this rubber seal to make, because we're going to reuse that. I think it's kind of like an O-ring. I'm not sure, but we got to reuse that. In order to get this main jet valve out, I had to put this into a vise and find the set point and push hard and then break the connection. So, because we don't want to gum up the threads, because once we do that, we can't get the valve out, the jet out. So anyways, we're going to continue to remove this out and inspect the main nozzle. Alright, I got the main nozzle out. I took a little bit, but it doesn't look that bad. And you can see the side nozzles are clean. You see right through it. So that's interesting. I wonder if it's something different going on here. And this also, you can see right through it. It's not clogged at all. So this is unusual. Maybe there was you saw there was a bunch of rust in the bottom. It could have got sucked up onto the intake and it's cleared out now. So I'm going to clean out all the rust with a wire brush, and maybe hit it with a little bit of carburetor cleaner, and then put this thing back together. So, and just clean out all the residue and dirt, because even though the air filter was there, boy, there's a lot of dirt in this carburetor. So we'll just give it a general cleaning, hopefully put it back together and see if it still works. Okay, put this thing back together again. We've cleaned the carburetor, as you can see, using something like this, just spraying this jet all over the carburetor, cleaning it off. Looks like new. So we've reattached everything. We're going to hook it up. It's all hooked up together, and let's go ahead and get the moment of truth here. Alright, we put the choke on. Let's see if this thing cranks and stays cranked here. That is it. Looks like that was it. I think some flakes of rust got into the nozzle of the carburetor jets. So taking it apart and just cleaning it. The carburetor looked pretty good after 35 years of use. So I've always used Chevron fuel in here, so with Techron. So I guess it pays off. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. And good mowing.